Hello, once again. Nice to be with you. I'm Evangelist Jess, Sister Jess here, and today I just want to make an urgent appeal, just to give a message really to Southern Nigeria governors. I just want to share something with the governors of Southern Nigeria, just to put into perspectives what is going on at the moment in the country, and to sensitize them, to challenge their thinking, and to also get them to do something. I'm not just talking, maybe people think, oh, she wants attention, she needs attention, she just wants to be noticed. Please, let me disabuse your mind. That's not my intention today, because what I'm going to talk about is a life and death issue. It's a life and death issue. One of the reasons I made up my mind to do this video was the fact that I had a friend that called me some time ago and said to me, I need to move out of my house. It's a death and life issue. And I felt, oh, because she's always talking about death and life, and she's always coming up with all these stories, scary stories, and her imaginations are always running wild. And I didn't really take it serious, but I promised her I was going to see how I could help her get somebody in London that had a free accommodation where she could stay. And, she actually has accommodation given to her by government, but she felt her life was being threatened. And I said, okay, I'll do something about it. I wasn't serious about it, I must confess. And she eventually died in her apartment. Up to today, nobody knows how she died. So I kept asking myself, why didn't I ask her the reason for telling me this is a life and death issue? Why didn't I listen to her? So I'm saying this to please appeal to every person listening to me. Give me your ear. Just give me your ear. Don't ignore me like I ignored what my friend said about life and death issue concerning her life, and I just didn't take it seriously and she died. Please take me serious for once. I appeal to you. You all saw the video of the Methodist Church Prelate, Dr. Uche, that was kidnapped by Fulani herdsmen. You watched the video, the press conference he gave, and how the Fulani herdsmen boasted to him that all this money we're collecting from kidnapping, we're going to use it to buy arms and then come and take over the whole of southern Nigeria. Please, let's take every word from this man seriously. Let's take it seriously. Why would they insist on 100 million naira ransom? They are not just collecting money for themselves. They are being sponsored by people. They are being sent by people. And the goal of those people that send them is to buy enough weapons to take over southern Nigeria. They only released him because they got the 100 million naira. They showed him the pit, the dog, where they kill people, cut off people's head and throw their bodies into the pit. They showed him, and he said, even though he didn't see the pit, they pointed at it, but the stench of dead bodies coming out of there was enough to scare him and get him, to get people to pay the 100 million naira immediately, so that he doesn't suffer the fate of the others that have been beheaded because the people did not collect the mentioned ransom. On that road where he was kidnapped, so many students have been kidnapped on that road. So many men, distinguished men and women, have been kidnapped on that road and slaughtered in the bush by these mean militants and these invaders from outside Nigeria. Most of these invaders are from outside Nigeria. Let me not beat about the bush now. Let me say this. We heard Dr. Uche, the Methodist prelate, say exactly the mission of these people. They told him boldly. They are so arrogant about it. They are no longer making any pretense about it, that their mission in Nigeria is to Fulanize the whole country, to take over, especially southern Nigeria, that hasn't had that a lot of these dwellers. They want to take over, and they want to take over by force. And you ask yourself, what's the genesis of all this? Well, the northern oligarchy, the Fulani rulers that have been ruling over Nigeria for ages, now see that they are going to lose power if they don't do something drastic. When Jonathan was in power, they introduced the Boko Haram terrorism. They brought him to Boko Haram, but what they didn't know was that you don't ride on the back of the tiger. Boko Haram did not just kill only Christians. When they got tired of killing only Christians, they started killing their own, people of their own faith. And that's when the government got jittery. They got jittery and say, okay, don't worry, you are going to help us. If this government of Jonathan refuses to quit, you're going to help us to unsettle the whole country. When we unsettle the whole country, we take over the country, because they were actually supposed to come and fight the Nigerian military. They thought that Jonathan would not relinquish power. Now Jonathan relinquished power to them, and all the people they brought in to fight for them are now saying, what did you promise us? You promised us that we are going to fight and take over the whole country. Now we didn't take over the whole country. You want to leave us high and dry? So they just said, okay, fine, we're going to do Ruga. We're going to say we're having settlements for cows and then give you homes in southern Nigeria to live, so that at the end of the day, by the time your population starts increasing in southern Nigeria, no southerner will be able to have the guts to say, we want to secede, we want to move away from Nigeria. Say everybody will now be forced to be under Fulani domination. That's the concept. There are two things the northern leaders do not want to hear. They don't want it to happen in Nigeria. Number one is, I'm going to be very slow now so that you appreciate what I'm saying. Number one is state police. They don't want to hear state police. And the truth of the matter is, it's only with state police that we can control the insecurity. We can deal with the insecurity going on in Nigeria. When we have state police will be familiar with the environment, they'll be familiar with the territories, they will easily be able to fish out the criminals amongst them. But state police means that the Fulani oligarchs will no longer be able to control security all over the country the way they are controlling the Nigerian police force. They send their northern policemen as commissioners to the south to just do their bidding. And these policemen don't take orders from state governors. They don't. They take orders only from the federal government. And it's what the federal government tells them to do that they do. That's how come the Fulani herders can slaughter and kill and rape people in the farms. And there's nothing the police can do, because the instruction from above is you must not touch them. Now, when they gave the Boko Haram militants, they said they were going to forgive them and grant them amnesty. They incorporated most of them in the military as fighters to come to the southern Nigeria to fight and protect the Fulani herders that have been sent to kill and slaughter. You know, so we see this thing going on. We hear stories, we hear rumors, but everything is so clear. It's as clear as daylight now. It's so clear to everybody that it wasn't really Ruga the president was looking for just for cows. He was looking for settlements where these people can use to be embedded into the south, into every nook and cranny of the south, so that when they wage any war, they succeed in the war against the south. They don't want to hear about state police. So when people resisted the Ruga settlement thing, they said, well, there's nothing we can do. They gave the terrorists the go-ahead. Just go, forcefully take over lands as you want. Since they did not want us to do the settlement thing for you, so just go and take over lands as you want. And anywhere they're going to, they make sure they send the military to protect them because of the experience they had from IPOB and Eastern Security Network. When the herders started raping women, started slaughtering pregnant women in their farms and taking over people's farms, that was when Nnamdi Kanu formed the Eastern Security Network to go to the bushes, to go and chase out the herders and say, come out of people's farmlands. You have no right to be in people's farmlands. So the government did not like that. That's why one of the things they're accusing Kanu of doing is that he killed 50 herdsmen. What is killing 50 herdsmen to the slaughter of thousands that's been taking place in southern Nigeria? How do you compare the two? Anyway, so when they saw the way the herders were being chased out of the farmland, they sent the soldiers. The other day in Cross River, we saw the way the soldiers brutalized the youth of one community. Just because the youths they saw the herders with their cows eating up people's farmland. They said, no, move this way. Move, take your cows to this side. Don't eat up people's farmland. Those people phoned the soldiers, and the Nigerian military came and gave them the brutal beating of their lives. See the marks on their back. They whipped them to submission. So they left the herders to continue destroying farmlands. The southern Nigerian citizens saw what these herders have done to Benue State. They slaughter. Benue State is like a killing field. They slaughter the farmers. They've taken over their lands. And there are more internally displaced citizens in Benue State now than in any part of the country. They've displaced them from their farmlands, from their homes, and they're all living in camps. These Fulani herders have taken over the lands in Benue State. So as they are coming, they are approaching, and they've taken over the forest in Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, as they told the Methodist Prelate. The Methodist Prelate said, they told me that we've taken over all the bushes along Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. We've taken over, we are coming to take over all the bushes in southern Nigeria, and from there, we take over the whole of South. All the militants and terrorists that were chased out of Sambisa Forest, from Zamfara State, from all the northern states, the plan now is to relocate all of them to southern Nigeria. We saw it the other day in Ondo State. The Amoteku security in Ondo State, they were able to arrest these people.
3 buses are coming into the state loaded with men and dangerous weapons. So we laid siege on the road, and eventually the 3 buses came at about 1:32 a.m. on Thursday. So we pursued the buses. 2 of them escaped. We eventually were able to apprehend one. After tailing him for about 40 kilometers, he was able to cross 4 barriers, because we actually called our men at our various control points, and he scaled the barricades until he got to Ondo town, where the road was solidly blocked, and they came out. So upon investigation, they claimed that the vehicle was loaded with people and weapons, and that they were mere drivers and conductor. They don't know who actually loaded them, but when we opened the sack, we found guns in the tiger nuts inside the bag. We find over 500 different types of ammunitions. Of knives, swords, knives, cutlasses, arms, charms, and a lot of things in their load. So we intend to take them to court immediately after investigation is concluded. It's a very bad scenario, but we thank God that for Amotekun to have intercepted them, because whoever that come with this all the way from north doesn't mean peace at all. And you can even see the children, all of the same level. Why that? Why that? It's very, at this time around, and all these are poisonous knives. What is their mission? To come and do what? So we thank God that they are being apprehended.
These are the people raping our distinguished women in the southeast. These are the urchins, the dirty urchins raping our women, raping our young girls. These are the killers that have been sent to kill people in southern Nigeria. The man was commenting. He said, for what reason? Why are they doing this? You know the reason. The man, the people, the herders that kidnapped the Methodist prelate, he said, Nigeria belongs to Fulani people. So Fulanis must take over Nigeria. That's the lie that's been sold to them by the rulers, the northern rulers in Nigeria. Told them that come and take over this land. So they're bringing them from outside Nigeria, all over West Africa. The Fulanis there are being relocated in Nigeria to come and violently take over southern Nigeria. They rape women, they slaughter the pregnant women, and they also, after raping them, they open up their wombs and bring out the children there and slaughter them. They are doing all manner of iniquities, and the Nigerian government is just complicit in all of this. Look at another person that made another confession about what is going on in Nigeria. You see, there's a saying that it's only a tree that we hear that we're going to cut down this tree tomorrow, and the tree will remain there until they cut it down. My southern governors, you have heard everything that is going on. You cannot remain quiet until they come and slaughter all of us. Look at it.
Amma lokacin da na dawo na tsinci kaina a cikin wannan abu wallahi ina mamaki kullum ina tunanin rayuwata saboda mahaifana akalla a kasar dan banga da
The man is saying this. He's making the confession. He's saying, I swear to the Almighty God that the government is the one arming us. Fulani don't know guns. We only know cows and how to rear cows. Cows don't give birth to guns. I swear to God, we just sat down and were supplied AK-47 by the government. I'm not afraid to say the truth. That's what this young man is saying. That is not afraid to say the truth. That is the government of Nigeria that is supplying them with AK-47 to slaughter and kill. These people, all they know is cows. They live with cows. They have sex with cows. There are a lot of videos showing how they have sex with cows. After having sex with their cows in the bushes, they come and rape our young girls, our university girls, our educated, enlightened, creme de la creme of the southern society. They rape and kill them. They kidnap them for ransom. They rape them. There are places they have, their hideouts they have in those bushes where they are kept the Methodist prelate. They have a lot of their hideouts where they just have women they captured on the road. They're just raping them morning, noon, and night. They're just raping these women. There was a video of one that was found that they were unmasked. They caught them in that bush. There was a special force that was sent to somewhere near there. And they saw this young girl. The men, they said they have been raping these girls since they kidnapped us. We've been calling our families to bring money. Say, but the amount of money they are mentioning is too much for us to bring. The Southerners can't go to the farm anymore because if you go to the farm, you can't get killed. They can't move on the road again. If you move on the road, they kidnap you for ransom. The teachers don't get salaries. The workers don't get salaries. Pensioners do not get their salaries. People are starving to death because of the invasion of these Fulani herders. Another thing the federal government doesn't want to hear is about regional government. It's only regional government that can bring governance close to the people. As long as they are controlling the wealth of the South from northern Nigeria, they are controlling it there and just giving peanuts to these governors, there's no way development will happen. There's no way starvation will not continue. And that's exactly what they want, so that people will be completely crippled and unable to raise a voice. I'm speaking to southern governors. Now is the time to do something. Now is the time. I should have spoken earlier, but maybe if I had spoken earlier, they'll say, what evidence do you have? Now we have all the evidence. Mordecai said something to Esther in the book of Esther. He said, Esther, there is a decision to kill all the Jews at a particular date. The king, your husband, has approved the killing of all the Jews. So if you keep quiet, don't think you will go free. The Fulanis have planned, they've laid out their plan on how to conquer the whole of southern Nigeria, to enslave the women. They are very good in using women for sex slavery. Enslave the women, kill the men and take over. They are someday going to move away from the forest and take over the mansions that you have built, the governors have built, the elites of the South you have built. They are going to take over those mansions if you don't do something. Mordecai told Esther, I say, if you don't do something, don't think you will go free, because they will convince the king that this is one of them. These are one of the people. She's there in the palace to spy on you. Those same advisors of the king that advised him to get away with this, get rid of his first wife, Vashti, they will also ask him to get rid of you, Esther. They'll just slaughter you as they're slaughtering all the Jews. And that's what will happen to southern governors if they keep quiet. Today they are kidnapping and killing and raping the poor, the helpless. Tomorrow they will get to the powerful southerners. They will get to you. I don't know what promise Buhari has made to you people about giving you presidential tickets. He made the same promise to the Cross River State Governor Ayade. He made that promise to Ebonyi State Governor, who has turned his people to slaves in their own land. He agreed with Buhari. He is hungry to become president of Nigeria, and that's why he has just loaded Ebonyi State with all these killers, all these headers, all these cow merchants who all they know in their life is cows. They're coming to slaughter people like cows. They're coming to abuse people sexually the way they do to their cows. That's exactly what they've been doing in Ebonyi State. Ebonyi used to be the food basket of southern region. They know how to farm. They know how to plant yam, rice, everything. Today, they can't go to their farms. because the headers that the governor Omahi brought have taken over the whole area. The Edo State governor, you're keeping quiet. They have said they've taken over the whole of the forest there. Ondo State governor, Ondo, the Southwest, you're trying. You're trying with Amotekube. You need to do more. You need to do more. All those people you arrest, when you arrest them and hand them over to the police set them free. They release them. All they need is just one phone call from the IG, because IG is a Fulani man, remember? They release them. The people who kidnapped the Methodist prelate, they are working like this with the Nigerian army, because most of the people in Nigerian army, the full soldiers now, we are used to be Boko Haram. The senior ones, they are all Fulanis. They are protecting them. Remember what is going on in Kaduna State, southern Kaduna. They've slaughtered the Christians there in hundreds of thousands. Those that escaped say that the soldiers mounted a checkpoint. The soldiers are there watching them kill us. When we go to soldiers and say, help us, they say, well, we haven't gotten order to move. It's when we get order. Who will the order come from? The president of Nigeria, who is Fulani, who has released all these invaders to go and have their fill. He wouldn't give them any order. The only order he gives them is, make sure you protect our people. These Fulani headers, the Fulani invaders, they are the ones that deserve to be protected. And that's exactly what the Nigerian military are doing at this time. I understood they say they want to interview the prelate of the Methodist Church because of his utterances about the complicity of the soldiers. He's not the first person to have said it. He's not. Remember, Obadiah Melafia said it. The man that died mysteriously last year or so. He said it. He said, look, they have brought these killers because of election. If election doesn't go the way they want it, they'll release the killers to just, kill everybody and silence everybody. But he stopped there with mommy is busy. Oh, my baby, mommy is busy. The full story is this. When they win, no, you can't go there. Mommy is busy, please. I'm sorry. When they win this election, definitely they're going to put another or somebody that would be ready to dance to their tune, they'll be ready to complete the task they've started, the task of Fulanization. The President Buhari has asked them, say, allow me to choose a successor who can complete the good works I've started. What are the good works he started? Releasing Fulani headers onto southern Nigeria to slaughter their way through and take over the land. That's the good work he started in Nigeria. And he says he wants to pick a successor that will complete it. Even if the APC don't grant him his desire. As I'm giving this message, they have not taken a decision. But at least he has another Fulani man in Atiku to complete his message. So if he doesn't choose the successor he wants in APC, he will just support Atiku. Atiku was the father of the day at his son's wedding. Remember, they are Fulanis. They are together. So Atiku will protect the Fulanis as well. He will not. There's no way he will protect Southerners over Fulanis. He will complete the project. Southern governors, now is the time to act. Do something. I love the way the prelate gave that press conference. That's how it should be. That's what is expected of men of God. Give press conference. Let the world know what is going on. I'm not happy that people like Pastor Kumi and Adeboye, they are not doing what they should do when it comes to sensitizing the world about the genocide going on in Nigeria. They need to sensitize the world. Pastor Kumoyi was busy looking for Aso Rock to attend his book launch. What is book launch when your people are being slaughtered? No. Mommy is busy. What is book launch when your people are being slaughtered? I have to end this video here, but please, let's do